Hey girly pop, did you forget that you have free will? Because I think you did. A lot of you guys forget that you guys literally have free will and that you guys can literally do whatever it is you want. Maybe it's something as small as, changing something that you ate today. Or maybe it's something as huge as changing your mindset. It really doesn't matter, but you have the free will to create the life that you want, that you desire, and that you deserve. Hi guys, I'm Eternally Elle and welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be talking about free will because I feel like a lot of you guys forget that you guys have it, and just how much using this free will and just knowing that you are allowed to literally live your life however you want will just change your life. And no, I'm not just talking about free will as in like leaving a toxic relationship or, dyeing your hair or whatever, right? I mean like you could watch all of the self-help videos that you want. You can read all of the self-improvement books. You can buy all of the things that are supposed to improve your hair, your skin, your mindset, your fashion choice, whatever it is, right? But if you don't apply it, if you don't actually take the free will that you were given to actually self-improve, but instead like you front like you do, like you buy all of the self-improvement things, you act like you're going to actually be consistent with it, but deep down you know that you're not, how are you actually going to self-improve as a person? How? Like, self-improvement is not all about the aesthetic. It really isn't. And I feel like a lot of you guys get confused when you see these content creators like myself like posting about self-improvement and all of these things, right? But it's not going to work if you don't actually apply it to yourself. You need to understand that you have the free will to do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just here as a guide to help you guys. Like if I were to ever get approached in public and you guys are like, oh my god, like your content helped me out so much, of course I would be like super grateful. And that would make me feel so happy. But it was really you that did that. It was you that helped your own life. You just use me as a tool, and that's what I do, And of course I helped you through that, but you could watch all of my videos and still end up being miserable because you're not actually applying what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Not actually applying what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. But you have to understand that free will can be a good thing or a bad thing. You can use it to improve your life, like actually improve your life, not just watching the videos and buying all the fun stuff, right? Like actually applying yourself, meditating, emotional regulation, what else? Like reading, taking breaks off of your phone or social media, going outside, exercising, eating better, all of that stuff you can do because you have free will. But then on the flip side of it, you can eat like crap all the time. You can not move your body as much. You can just go back into the bad mindset that you once had, Like you can let your depressive episode or you getting into a rut be an excuse as to why you'll never be able to get better. All of that stuff. All of that stuff happens because of free will. And it's your choice whether or not you want to use your free will for good or for bad. Because you guys have to understand that a lot of people forget that they have their own choices to make. A lot of people are super indecisive or insecure about making choices that has to do with their life because they were raised to be anxious about it. They were raised to be like, oh, well, I kind of need someone else's opinion on this. I don't trust myself, blah, blah, blah. That all comes from insecurity within yourself. And if you feel insecurity within yourself, it can be really hard to use that free will for your benefit. No one knows you more than you do. I know some parents be like, oh, well, I know you more than you know yourself. No. No one else is in your brain. No one else is in your mind. You know you. So you know deep down, whether you want to accept it or not, you know what will make you better. You know what choices will get you on a better path. It's all about taking that first step. And the first step is the hardest one. It's, besides being aware and actually realizing you have an issue, the first step is actually doing something about it. The first step is actually being like, okay, well, I'm going to get up and go on a walk. Or I'm going to journal. Or I'm going to meditate and all that stuff, right? And I don't want you guys to act like I'm just this perfect human being that is always motivated and that's like always like keeping her word or whatever, right? Because I'm not perfect. You know, like, I'm still human, guys, and I'm still pretty young. Like, I'm only 20 years old, right? But I've done enough research to give out advice and actually have people reach out to me and be like, yo, like, your videos actually really helped me out. You know, your advice has actually elevated my life, all of that stuff. And I'm so happy that my content is helping you guys out. But you have to understand that I'm still human. I still fall back into anxious thinking sometimes, or negative thinking, or I get into ruts too. And it's completely normal. You know, it's a part of the human experience, but if you keep reminding yourself as to why you are elevating your life and wanting to improve in the first place, it can be much easier. You know, and also romanticizing your life truly helps me out, you know, because I used to be the type of person that would despise winter because, you know, I'm not a big fan of the cold. I prefer summer. I like being outside. I like going to the beach. I just like doing stuff, right? I don't like to be in my house, and I don't like it to be dark by like 4 o'clock, right? But when you romanticize winter, you're like, okay, maybe I'll light a candle. Maybe I'll drink some hot chocolate. Maybe I'll watch some movies, or, you know, maybe I'll read with my window open watching the snowfall. All of that stuff can make winter so much more bearable. You know what I'm saying? And you can apply that to anything that you don't like, you know? If you don't like your job, romanticize it. Look cute, you know? Be the baddest bitch up in there, you know what I'm saying? Like, find small things to incorporate into things that you might not be a big fan of, but you know you have to do or have to face. Incorporate small things that will make you feel better about it. You know, instead of just having a constant negative mindset of, oh, I don't want to do anything, oh, I don't want to do this, oh, it feels like that's like nasty energy. You know, and I'm not trying to be mean, because I definitely catch myself thinking like that sometimes, but it's just like, you have to understand that this is your life. Like, you should be happy that you even woke up this morning, that you're alive, and that you're healthy, you know? I feel like a lot of people take for granted just being healthy and being able to move their body. You know, like, imagine, like, you were just in bed all day today, right? But then tomorrow you get into like a freak accident, and now all of a sudden you can't move. You're like bedridden, right? I'm pretty sure you'd be thinking, damn, I kind of wish I did something yesterday instead of just being in bed all day, you know, and taking me being able to move for granted. You know, like, I think about that sometimes, and I'm just like, damn, like, why am I over here wasting my life and my potential just because I'm tired, just because I'm in a rut, you know? And that's the first step of getting out of that rut, is realizing that, like, nothing lasts forever. Of course, like, feeling depressed, feeling upset is not going to last forever. Being in a rut isn't going to last forever, you know? So it's up to me to get myself out of it. You know, you need to be able to realize that you're responsible for the majority of things that happen to you in your life, you know? And you can use that as a good thing, being like, hey, I'm responsible for myself. Let me treat myself like I'm my best friend. You know, let me give myself grace where it's needed. Let me hold myself accountable where it's needed. Let me be the healthiest, happiest version of myself that I can be, while still, you know, doing things that make me happy, but also resting, all of that stuff, right? Treat yourself like you're your best friend. And for the love of God, get out of that negative mindset. Because once you start to, like, realize that, like, how much negative thinking, like, really impacts how you see the world and how you see yourself especially, you will want to stop. Okay? Like, of course, don't be like a wishful thinker thinking that, like don't, like, ignore reality. You know what I'm saying? But, like, create your reality. You know, what kind of reality do you want for your life? What kind of life do you want for yourself? That's what I'm saying, right? So, of course, please stay, like, you know, aware about, like, the news and what's going on within, like, your world and all that stuff, but also create a beautiful life for yourself, because you deserve a beautiful life. Like, wouldn't you want your best friend to be living their best life? Why don't you want to live your best life? Why is that only feasible for your friend, but not for you? Understand that you have free will, and understand that you are allowed to tip the pendulum either more positive or more negative. Okay? It's really just up to you and what you want to do with your life and how you want to live your life. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of short, but I got a new job, and I have, like, orientation this entire month, and I'm going to be so burnt out, so I just want to get my videos out there earlier. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at EternallyL, and I will see you guys next week. Love you guys.